What's good, Plumboro? I'm Drew Bartow, alongside my co-host, Mike Devine.
Hello, Mr. Bartow.
And Justin Newman.
Hi, Andy.
And, of course, show producer, the one and only Big Cat.
What's up?
We aim to entertain and educate more than 3 Plum residents by debating some of the trending topics in the borough, from school board and council happenings to business openings, conspiracy theories, and everything in between. Welcome to the Sour Plums podcast, friends. We want to give a quick recap of last week's show. We had Fred Lucas on from the Plum Athletic Youth Soccer Association, and wow, got a lot of views there, a lot of interest in our podcast last week, and turns out we had some pretty good performing Plum teams in the Kickoff Classic. How about it, guys?
Yeah, we did.
That's all you got, Justin?
That's so good
yeah,
to
we
hear.
did.
Yeah, we
I'm
did.
so glad to hear that.
Could you elaborate?
News.
Plum Raptors finally broke through, and we took the championship. Won a 5-0 decisive game in the championship game. Very proud of our Plum Raptors. We played pretty well.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, my girls did very well this weekend too. Penny's team, undefeated in pool play, won the semifinals, went on to the finals, led the game most of the game, and then they lost 5-3 in the finals to Mars. Very good game. Lily's team was the last game of the evening. Went to double overtime against South Fayette, who had played the day before in another good game. With a minute or so left in double overtime, we scored the game-winning goal, and felt like everybody who was left at the park was there watching that game. It was a really good game. So second time they've won the Kickoff Classic.
That was the last game of the tournament, right?
Last game of the tournament. Under the lights, it finished.
Seemed like a lot of teams in Plum did well beyond even your kids' teams. A lot of Plum teams did well. So congratulations to all the winners there and participants. We also had our Sour Plums fantasy football draft last week. Everybody named their team some form of Andy, which was really appreciated.
What a coincidence!
I even did so
I have
myself.
the best team name, hands down. Like, can we vote on that right now?
What is it?
Andy's Candies.
That's definitely the best one for sure.
Thank you.
Definitely not the best one. Definitely.
Well,
not.
guys,
Majority has it.
So as we mentioned, though, we're going to give updates every week on our Facebook page and also every other week here on the show. First week's coming up this week. Feeling pretty good about our teams, guys?
Of course, I'm going to win. Feel great.
Yes.
That screams confidence.
I was going to say that's a complete lack of confidence.
I can't remember who's on that team. I have 7 teams this year, and I've already drafted 6 of them, so I can't remember. But it's a good team. I'm ready to go.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to stick to it because we have some women in our group. Overall, or fantasy team, right? Or fantasy league. Let the best man win.
Oh.
Oof. No, man in the sense of like human. Let the best man, not the best individual man win. Let the best man win.
We're gonna keep that in there. Now. We're gonna keep that in there, Big Cat, and you're gonna have to suffer the consequences.
No, I mean let the best
Pages
individual win.
Pages is gonna come get you. I know that right now. Get her off my back for a minute. Jeez. All right, hey,
I meant man, like person.
What you meant and
but
how
you
it came
didn't
across.
Say it.
Totally different. But Big Cat, for real, I got to talk something serious for a second. I do want to thank our prize sponsors for the Fantasy Football League, Salute Beer Distributor and Sports Cards every month. So thank you guys for donating to our cause and to the winners, which will be most likely me. We love our opinions. But hey guys, what are we're happy to have Salute on. Speaking of Salute drinking, what are we drinking tonight?
Wait. You're just going to pass right over it?
Did I miss something?
One of the biggest reactions we've had of anything on the show so far.
Am I missing it?
When I kindly requested that you fillet someone.
I am not addressing that. I will no longer. My agent recommended I do not address that further on this show.
That was one of the most talked about things the last 2 weeks. People have told me how hard they laughed at that comment.
Oh,
but we're just going to skip right over it, apparently.
What are we drinking tonight, boys?
I'm still drinking Ciroc and water.
It's Labor Day weekend. I've eaten so many smoked meats and drinks this weekend. I'm tapped out. I'm done.
I've got a peanut butter whiskey. So first time I haven't had an IPA on the show. So
Screwball?
Special occasion. Not Screwball. It's actually from Explorer. They're a Pennsylvania company. So yeah, it's pretty good.
All right.
I'm drinking a 16.9 fluid ounce Mountain Dew. It's not as good as the 24, but it's better than the 12.
That's science, I'm sure, right? It's been proven.
Yeah. Correct.
All right, guys. I also want to give a shout out to our full show sponsors: Continental Comb, Tresco Concrete, the Jen Mascaro Real Estate Team, the Lulo's Pizzeria, and Salute Beer Distributor. Continental Comb Barbershop, a traditional barbershop servicing the area since 1973. Up to date on all the new styles and cuts. Call 412-795-7555 and mention Sour Plums for $5 off any service.
Tresco Concrete, the best concrete products on the market. Ready-mix concrete delivered to your door, guaranteed to get hard or your money back. And as always, their concrete is all natural, no supplements, and always 100% Viagra-free.
The Jen Mascaro team proudly supports the Sour Plums podcast. When it comes to selling your home promptly and at peak value, look no further than the expertise of the Jen Mascaro team. With over a decade of industry experience, we guarantee to guide you seamlessly through the process. For personalized assistance, contact us at 412-607-6318 or email jen.mascaro@cbrealty.com.
Lulo's Pizzeria, serving up quality food, good grace, and burnt pizza since 2016. Local and woman-owned, located at 415 Unity Center Road in Plum. Call 412-795-1229 and mention Sour Plums for 10% off your order of $10 or more. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
At Salute Beer Distributor, we are bringing you a large selection of beers from local and national breweries. Our extensive inventory includes craft beers, seasonal specialties, your everyday favorites, adult slushies, and an impressive inventory of non-alcoholic beers. Salute's inventory has something special for every palate. Come browse the aisles at Salute Beer Distributor, located on Route 286 in Plum, next to Shop and Save. You'll be glad you did.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's jump right into Plum Problems. First thing I want to talk about here, boys, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Football kicked off this weekend. There'll be football every weekend from now until mid-February, and it just makes my heart happy.
You call this is Plum Problems. This is the opposite of a problem for me. This is the most wonderful time of the year, right? I mean, football season, temperatures dropping, it's great.
I think it's a problem for some households because in our household, Jess watches football. I watch football. Our kids are starting to get into it, but also as the chores don't get done, we just sit there, and we just realized for the first time in a long time we have our Saturdays wide open. Chase is the only one who has a soccer game on Saturday, so we're gone for an hour, and then we can watch college football all day. Sunday, still going to be juggling 2 soccer schedules on Sundays. Penny has softball practice on Sunday mornings. Lily has basketball practice at night, so we'll figure out a way to get it in there. But it is the best time of the year. I'm so happy right now. And Penn State started with a great win this weekend.
They did, unfortunately, as did Pitt. I mean, they beat the powerhouse Kent State. But Mike, I had to ask you. I think you seem like the college football type preference. If you had to pick one or the other, Sunday all day watching NFL or Saturday watching college football all day, what would you do?
So I would say NFL is my favorite to watch. But if I had to pick Steelers never win a Super Bowl again, or Penn State never win a national championship again, I need to see Penn State win a national championship. Like that's my dream, to watch that. Like not the 94 Rose Bowl, like Joe handed out rings. Like I want a legit national championship that I remember.
Fair enough. Yeah, nothing beats a Sunday during football season for me. I mean, I do have 2 games of cheers. Big Cat can attest to. He's there at the field all day. I'm there half the day. My son's got AAU season kicking into gear in the next week or two. So the weekends will be busy, but I'll find time for football. What about you guys? Any problems in your households, or is it football watching for you guys as well?
I'm all soccer all the time. I get to watch.
So football.
Yeah, there's my football. Kenyon being on 3 teams does not allow me to do very much on weekends at all. So
Eagles are a pretty good team this year, though. They have a lot of primetime games.
We do. So week 1, it's Friday night, so I don't have to worry about that. So my weekend is clear. So hopefully we start out with a dub in Brazil. So I don't have to worry about it on Sunday. And then Monday night's the following week. So yeah, first 2 weeks I'm good.
I have to say that I was looking forward to college football this year more than years previously. My sons are playing football this year for Plum, so I'm just excited to watch games with them so they can watch their positions. We caught 2 games this weekend. My wife's cousin is a defensive coordinator for Michigan State, so
wow.
Go Spartans. They won this weekend.
No.
And my team, Oregon Ducks, Idaho almost gave them a loss in that game. Not looking very good on offense, but they won. So we were excited to watch college. Right now, this year, I'm going to be more excited to watch college football, but I like the NFL too.
So you're going to break down some film with the boys there, Big Cat?
Oh, yeah. Film room on Mondays.
Nice.
Moving on. It's been a big week for Plum athletics. National Spotlight. We had Wes Lorish shot, I think, a 32, and they beat Central Catholic for the first time in 36 years, I believe.
Wow.
It's big round for him and for the Mustangs as well. But the bigger news is he got a shout out on the McAfee show. Probably like a 3 or 4 minute spot. Pat talked about him, and then 24 hours later, Plum girls soccer got on the McAfee show. Bella Maines, fastest yellow card ever. She came in, trucked a girl, got a yellow card, and moved on. So it was good week for Plum sports.
You know what's really cool about him doing that is that it's his show, and he can do. Nobody outside of a few thousand people in Plum care, right, about that. And the fact that he does that is amazing. Like, this is my show. I'm going to give a shout out to my high school and to the athletes that are still playing there. To me, that's amazing. Like, you can imagine our kids being announced. Like, it'd be like the highlight of their life up until that point, right? It's amazing.
What a flex that is going into school the next day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well,
the next match, you're gonna, oh shit, this is the guy that was just on the McAfee show.
That's true too. Didn't Wes get flown out to College Game Day, or was he in? I think he was in Morgantown this weekend. I think McAfee brought him to Morgantown.
Oh,
did he really?
wow.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because he's on the basketball team too, so it's always in the basketball chat. And Deuce told me that he was like, I think Wes is going. He got flown out to West Virginia. So
imagine one of the high school players being on our show and going into school and saying, "Hey guys, I was on the Sour Plums podcast," and then Wes Lorish walks in and says, "Yeah, but I was on Pat McAfee's show.
I was on ESPN.
A little bit bigger flex, maybe.
a little bit. The cool thing is Wes's house is directly behind mine. Like, so there's my house, and then like a 40-foot drop, 20 feet across, and then 40 feet back up, and it's Wes. And his parents put a pitching green, a putting green that he can practice, his short game. It's the coolest thing ever. It's like artificial turf and everything out there.
That's
and I actually saw his dad this morning. We talked about it for a minute. And when I brought it up, his dad just ear to ear smile. Like he was so pumped about it. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But speaking of Pat, you guys all watch Game Day this weekend? But more importantly, did you see the memes that came out of Game Day with Pat and Nick Saban?
Yes, those were phenomenal.
Fantastic.
like I think it was comms and like HR, something like that. Like during the break, Pat's dancing like Pat does, and Nick Saban's like looking over at him like, "Is this guy for real?"
It's awesome.
I think that's a good, sort of combo to have there sitting side by side on the show. Mr.
They did
Serious,
that on purpose,
right? Mr. Serious and Mr. Fun, right?
100%.
And I think Lee Corso, didn't he drop the F-bomb accidentally live at the end?
I'm not sure Lee Corso knows what he's saying anymore.
No,
to be honest.
They really propped him up like Weekend of Bernie style. Got him out there in a little leprechaun outfit, dancing around.
All right, Drew, tell us what's good in the hood.
Mike, well, after that segment, we're gonna turn to a serious segment here for a minute. And tonight we are joined by Jen Dintini. Jen is a Plum resident running for state senate in the 45th district. She is here to answer some questions for voters ahead of the November election. Jen, thanks for joining Sour Plums.
Thank you for having me. I wish I had the cool background you guys all have.
You're missing out.
I know.
Now, Jen, before we get into platform and policy questions, which we will, can you give the audience a brief personal background and share what sparked your state senate run?
Sure. So I'm Jen. Bozar is my maiden name. Born and raised in Plum Borough. Still live here. Love this town more than anything. Love the people here. It's a really special place. And I've never wanted to get into politics. I still don't really want to get into politics. I want to get into good government. But I decided whenever Senator Brewster announced his retirement and this opportunity presented itself, in light of everything that has been happening in our district, or the lack thereof, should I say, I decided that I was going to try. I was going to, take my life and sort of turn it upside down and decide to run for state senate. And it's not about me. It's not about pursuing a career in politics. I've had a very successful career in the security guard business. I'm a mom of 4 kids. I have 2 wonderful stepdaughters, and then two children of my own. And I'm doing this for them, and I'm doing this for all of us, and for your kids, and for our future, because I just think that the status quo hasn't been serving our communities. They've been really serving themselves. And so I took this leap, and here I am. Now I'm the Republican nominee for Senate District 45, and things are going really well. So I'm happy to be here and answer any questions that you guys have for me.
A lot of voters are already decided, obviously. A lot of people know where they're going to vote, but there are undecided voters or people maybe who are simply unfamiliar with your platform. What are a few key campaign messages you'd want them to take away from this interview?
Yeah. So, I think it's really important to recognize that whenever you're running for state Senate, this seat specifically directly impacts where we live. It impacts our communities. So where we live is a critical part of this, and the direction that we want our communities to go. So a big part of this for me was last December, a police officer was shot responding to the crumble cookie robbery in Monroeville. And I looked at my husband and I said, what's happening? Like, what is going on? There's been increased crime, and it's just, not feeling safe anymore, going to Monroeville at night, thinking about that impact on us, thinking about the difference. Like I said, I've lived here my whole life, the difference, how it was whenever we were growing up to the difference to how it is now. And what is the cause of that? Well, a big thing for me is that I think that the lack of economic revitalization that we've had in this area has been the number one cause for the decline that we've been in. So a lot of this area is the Mon Valley, and the Mon Valley built Pittsburgh, built Allegheny County, and has since then been overlooked and forgotten, in my opinion. So while we have our tax dollars going to build up other communities, we sit and watch the highways get built out to Cranberry, out to Washington County, out to Westmoreland. And our area continues to struggle, and we have job loss, and we have population loss. And so now we have an aging population, all the tax burdens on our seniors, and it's not working. And that impacts our schools. And so it's a big trickle down effect of the fact that our local economy isn't stable, and we don't have companies saying, okay, this is where I want to go, and this is where I want to put some job opportunities. And I mean good job opportunities, family sustaining jobs, to offer 1,000 jobs, 1,500 jobs. Westinghouse left Monroeville, and we've never recovered in this part of town. East Pittsburgh hasn't recovered. North Versailles, East McKeesport, Plum, Monroeville. That is a huge impact. The collapse of the steel mills. We're very fortunate that we still have 3 of the mills for U.S. Steel that are in this district. And we need to be making sure that our government officials are doing everything that they can to work together with U.S. Steel to make sure that those jobs are here for people. An economic collapse and depression of the steel industry to happen again here, we can't survive it. So we need to all be working together, not putting up barriers for business. So that's something that I'm really passionate about. And I think it makes a lot of sense too.
You mentioned a few towns within the district, the 45th district. What all does it cover? What all does the 45th district cover? And obviously, it's not just Plum and a few that you mentioned. It's pretty big.
Map up. Okay, I will try my best to name everything, but
you don't have to name everyone, but I kind of a range,
South Hills, which is Baldwin, Brentwood, Whitehall, Castle Shannon, and then it's Mon Valley, it's West Homestead, Munhall, West Mifflin, goes down all the way to Elizabeth Forward, all those smaller Mon Valley towns like Glassport, Dravosburg, McKeesport, White Oak, North Versailles, East Pittsburgh, Monroeville, Plum.
Oh, that's impressive. Without the map.
A very diverse community with just the best people. We're talking generations of people that have lived here, that have, lots of great connections, lots of history and family stories. And those are the kind of things that I'm trying to preserve, so people don't have to move other places, because the 45th district is thriving again. And so, our children can stay here if they want to.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about your ads, the language in your ads, and kind of get a feel for what they mean to you. So I've seen your ads. I have the direct mail piece right here. I see your ads on TV and on Facebook. I do. I have a few of those. I'm a big direct mail fan, so I love that. So, but you do mention the phrase "common sense solutions, not extreme politics." Now, that last part can mean something different to any voter, right? But how do you define extreme politics, and how are you trying to avoid that?
So, a really big thing for me, and I think a lot of us will probably agree, is that every time you turn on the TV, it's so divisive, and media as well as social media. Let's not leave out social media. It's like you're one or the other. You're a Democrat or you're a Republican, and so you're against each other. And I just feel like there's so many of us that are more in the middle. I'm a moderate Republican, and so my campaign is all about I can be the person to represent you no matter what your political affiliation is, because I think that we are misled a lot to believe that we don't have anything in common when, as a matter of fact, we have a whole lot more in common than the stuff on the TV or on Facebook makes it seem. And whenever you get to connect with people and really talk about what's important to them, again, we're all on the same page. We want to have good jobs here. We want to have safe communities. We want to have a good education for our kids. Mental health is a huge part of my platform as well. So, whenever I talk about these things, it's a lot of this and a lot of interaction with people. And it turns out that they're like, well, actually, even though I've been a true blue Democrat my whole life, I agree with a lot that you're saying. So that's whenever I mean about common sense solutions, because again, it's not really about being on one side or the other of sort of the 10% on this side, 10% on this side. It's about the 80% of us that are in the middle, or the true like 60%, because that's what I'm working for every day as I'm out campaigning. This is my job interview. And I'm hoping November 5th I get the job, and I'm showing everyone my work ethic, the things that are important to me that I'm running on. And like I said, it seems to be that a lot of us have that all in common, which is really refreshing to hear too, that people want to be united again.
And this last question for me, and I'll turn it over to the guys for a few others. But you mentioned common sense solutions, and for me, it's disheartening that Republicans, Democrats, Independents, whomever, can't really get on the same page. It doesn't seem like we get on the same page to solve things like gun violence, mental health, things like that. How do you anticipate working across the aisle and getting those things done and getting that accomplished? Because it's an uphill battle, it seems.
For sure. I mean, I think that what we have to do though is, again, that this sort of narrative that, Republicans and Democrats can't work together has been what's put out there for a while. And I think that we are having more people that are, more of a moderate Republican or a conservative Democrat, whatever title you want to give someone, and we are willing to work together. Whenever it comes to things that are results of mental health issues, it's something that I'm just very passionate about. We do not have enough mental health professionals. So even when people are seeking help, seeking treatment, seeking therapy, and they're told you have 6 months to a year, you have to wait, that's dangerous. And so that's something that I believe that we should have more resources geared towards, as well as incentives to keep those professionals in Pennsylvania. After they go to school, you go to school in Pennsylvania, we should be incentivizing people to stay in Pennsylvania to work after that. Another thing is that I think that we need to be equipping our kids with coping skills at a young age, and that, we have physical education in school, and we talk about, we want to eat healthy and we want to take care of our bodies. Well, our minds are a part of our bodies. And I think that since COVID, some of the negative stigma around mental health has decreased, but we're still not where we need to be. And life is hard. Life is very hard. And I think that if we can help our kids deal with some challenges that they have and give them sort of the tools that they need from a young age, incorporated into our education, will be very beneficial for them. So, I mean, there's not a one size fits all solution for the challenges that we have in mental health, but we really need to be focused on it a lot more.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things I see, at least the Plum School District doing, and obviously more can be done everywhere, but I like that, my first grader brought home a form to complete, permission form to be able to talk at lunch with other kids about how to treat people and how to respond to things at such a young age. I think that's a great stepping stone, right? To getting that instilled in them at a young age, and hopefully having them treat each other better as they progress through school, right? And Justin, I know you had a few questions yourself.
I do. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Justin.
So because people like to stick to party lines instead of actually researching and finding out where a candidate stands, in your words, why should Democrats vote for you?
So we've been sticking to party lines in this district. We've only had a Democratic senator in this district for as long as we can go back. But at this point, looking at elections, people aren't necessarily voting that way, because that could be in a 2-to-1 Democratic district. It could be a little disheartening to look at those numbers and throw your hat in the ring as a Republican. But again, I think that people are coming around to not voting just straight tickets anymore. I mean, I know that we can't even pull a lever, that you have to fill out all those little circles. But what it is that this is an incredible opportunity, no matter what your political affiliation is, for our entire district, for the whole 45th. We've never had a senator. I think not never, but I think there was only a 2-year period. It was long before, I mean, it was while we were all kids, that we had a senator in the majority caucus. And Senator Brewster himself has admitted that he couldn't get as much done as he had wanted to because he was always in the minority caucus. Well, that will not be the case for me. I will be in the majority caucus, which means that we're able to get results and we're able to get access to additional grant funding. And so we just are opened up to a lot more opportunities to actually accomplish things and get results for our communities. And it's a good place to be whenever you are in that majority caucus. So that is a huge benefit, no matter what your political affiliation is, because all that is good stuff that I'm able to then, be the champion for and bring to the district. But again, I mean, I'm a very moderate person and I appreciate people's perspectives. I'm not someone that always votes party lines. I voted for plenty of Democrats. Some may even be on this year in my life. And, I think that we're not always in the position to get to know someone on a personal level. I think that the internet certainly helps and these kind of avenues to do that. But I think when people get the chance to, they like what I'm saying. And you know what? Some people just appreciate the sort of hustle and hard work and grind that I'm putting into it. I'm not going to reach every single person. Some people are just not going to vote for me, or they're not going to like me, and that's okay. But again, I mean, the things that I'm running on, they really are common sense issues. And they're the things that impact all of us every single day. And our children. I know that we're all parents here. And so, that's what's most important. I think that's what we think about far more than ourselves, as we think about our kids and what the future looks like for them. All we want for them is, again, we want safety. We want good education, whatever career path they choose in life. I mean, I was just at the Labor Day parade today, and it was really impressive. It's the largest Labor Day parade in the country. And I'm a union employer, for some people that don't know that. I'm an SEIU employer. And so I was down there and meeting with the different unions, and there are incredible career opportunities if you choose to go into a union apprenticeship too, that I think that maybe we don't talk to our kids enough about. But those are great jobs, and those are great family sustaining jobs that have good wages, opportunities for overtime, great benefit programs. And I don't think that we talk about that as much as we should.
Yeah, I don't want to hijack Justin's follow-up question, but you mentioned about how you voted for potentially a Democrat on this panel. This amazing podcast exists in the form it is now, primarily because I voted for a Republican at one point. So that's why this podcast exists. So amazing things can be accomplished when we cross party lines,
right? When we cross party lines, how about that?
So my follow-up question for that, Jen, is what's stopping you from voting exclusively with your party once you're in your Senate seat?
So again, I mean, that's just not the way that I am. The way that I make decisions is based on what I think is best for the people of the 45th district, and not just voting down party lines. Also, in Allegheny County is it's a different place compared to a lot of other places in Pennsylvania. And so right now we have one Republican senator out of 5. So I would be the second one. Again, that's huge to have 2 senators that are in the majority caucus for Allegheny County, that we can work together with the other 3 Democratic senators, and fight for things to make sure that Allegheny County is getting its fair share as well in these programs. Because I know a lot of times that's a big fight to make sure that Allegheny County isn't being overlooked. And so we're not going to get anywhere if we keep fighting like this. I've heard since, I've gotten into this, and I've met a lot of people. They talk about, back in the 90s was a great time. Everybody worked together. We got so much done. It was a lot of fun in Harrisburg, is what they say, because there we're people working across party lines all the time. I think that we do have a lot of people that are currently elected that want to do that. And I think that we just need more of us to step out and sort of lead the charge and say, this is exactly what we're going to do. And I'd be happy to be one of those people to say, this is the only way we get things done and serve our communities. This isn't about serving ourselves. This isn't about serving a political machine. This is about the people that voted us in office.
All right, Jen, I just have one question for you. So speaking from experience, when you run for office before you win, you have this idea in your head of what it's going to be like when you get there, and all this, your bucket list of everything you want to get done when you get there. In reality, if you win, when you win, it's going to take you about 6 months to get your feet wet, figure out what the hell you're actually doing out there.
Mhm.
But to get anything done, you can't do it on your own. You need to have buy-in from your own party. You need to have buy-in from the other party, but you need to have relationships. You need to have people you can go to talk to. And how do you plan to build those relationships and get those whatever is on your bucket list, get those things done?
So I'm already doing that. I'm already starting to build relationships now. And I think that it's really important. So one thing I want to point out, because it's another thing that I've kind of seen here and there on the internet, is that my opponent is endorsed by, everyone under the sun. Well, he's already an elected official. He's a state house rep. And so that's how those things work. Okay. That's the reality of it all. And that said, I appreciate the challenge and sort of the uphill battle and having a steep mountain to climb to get to it for November 5th. But I think we just keep chipping away at it. And I think it's working. And I think that resonates more with people than anything else, than whatever endorsement and things like that you get. And even though I might not have the actual endorsements, I've still met with all of these different groups. And I have been establishing relationships with them because, again, I'm going to win. And so whenever that happens, we don't want to be starting to get to know each other on November 6th. We want to already have those initial relationships established so we can hit the ground running. It's absolutely going to have a learning curve. I think that, I'm definitely up for the challenge. This whole last 7 months has been a new world for me and a learning curve. And I think that I've learned a lot and adapted well. That said, I've been in business my entire career, and that is all about relationships. It's never been about political affiliation. I've never known someone else's party, and we've been able to always work together to accomplish things. I've been in multiple contract negotiations. I've been through 2 collective bargaining processes with the SEIU. And so I understand the give and take and coming to agreements on what we all believe is the best for the whole. And that's essentially what government is supposed to be doing for us.
All right. I do believe, Jen, we have a couple of voicemails for you. We'll play, and maybe you can answer those questions while we're here.
Hi, I have 2 very important questions to ask of Jen. 1, ask her why she thinks that in Plum, including elected officials, Democrats are really supporting her. And 2, ask her why she thinks the Sour Plum podcast has been censoring David Biondo and not allowing him on the podcast. You guys decide which one's the more important. I know which one it is, but I would like you guys to decide. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I don't know if I have an answer to the second part of that question. But I think that, so it's not just Plum Democrats that are supporting me, just to be clear. I have a lot of Democratic support throughout the whole district. I think that the status quo has failed our communities. And I think that a lot of people that are Democrats look at that the same way. And again, I don't think that that's necessarily, when it comes down to it, it shouldn't be a party thing. It's a person thing. And I think that that's how a lot of people are looking at this. They're looking at this as voting for the person and not for the party. And I'm the fortunate person that everyone is putting their faith in to be able to deliver results. And that's going to take time. And I'm very upfront with people that it's not like November 6th, I'm going to go in and snap my fingers and everything's going to be, fixed. But we are stagnant. If we aren't in active decline, we're stagnant. Someone needs to get the ball rolling forward. And I'm the person that can do that. I can't sit here and talk about the Mon Valley Expressway for another 2 decades till it gets finished. That's been a detriment to our communities on this side. Having that Beltway system completed gives us additional opportunities. It gives employers that want to put their companies in this area a larger workforce to pull from. The roads don't exist. We've been cut off from a lot of access to other places, and it's been a detriment from an employment perspective for people. That's why people are moving. They go right over the county line, and the taxes are lower, the schools are good, and there's jobs. I mean, this isn't rocket science. We need to flip it back around, make the 45th the great place where people used to be moving into, not moving out of. Whenever I talk to people about that, again, that's not really an issue of party, but the bottom line is that we keep electing the same kind of person in this seat, and it's not changing. So I'm asking that you give me a chance. Don't really make it about an R or a D, but understand that the status quo hasn't done anything for us. And so it's time for a change.
All right, we have one more for you.
Dan, Guy, love the show. This is Mike Caligiuri, also known as MC. My family is obviously supporting Jen for Sen. She's the better candidate, but I have two questions for you, Jen. First, what makes you most happy about being a mom? And second, even though I know the answer, can you tell everyone the qualities and skills as a business owner that will help you to be a successful legislator? Wishing you the best of luck in November.
He's so great. Mike Caligiuri. He's a great guy. Okay, so being a mom. I mean, my children are the greatest gift I've ever received. All four of them. I embrace being a stepmom. I treat all of my children the same and just love them and support them and try to give them stability and confidence and just knowing that I'm someone that they can come to. And a part of this for me has been showing them about hard work and being dedicated to something, and that you have to work for the things that you get in life. But my children ground me in so many ways, and they inspire me in so many ways because they are so smart and they are so innocent, and they just deserve good things. And then they go through challenges in life too, like kids not being nice and picking on them, and how we get them through that, and trying as adults to be that role model for them and try to do better and treating people better. And so I think that this is a great time considering everything that's on TV anymore and the constant commercials and stuff like that, other than my great baseball commercial. That
You've got an arm, by the way.
Thank you.
That was pretty good.
Plum Baseball Softball
Cannon.
Association. Yes, thank you. But it's a good time that even if you don't like what's being said on TV, that we can just kind of keep it to ourselves, or not maybe say something in front of our kids, because they are sponges and they pick up on all of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, they're the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, and it's frustrating at times because, again, back to that social media, and I shouldn't read it, but people question my businesses and my having children. Is how am I going to be a state senator? I find that very disheartening, again, because this is about them, and this is about businesses and employment opportunities for other people. So, and I've been figuring things out my whole life, and I will continue to do so. And just rest assured that my family will be taken care of, and my kids will be taken care of when I'm your next state senator. Related to business, so I'm in a male-dominated industry of security guard service. My grandparents started the business. Now my dad and I own AmGuard. I own a very small portion of AmGuard. And then I asked my dad if he would give me 51% ownership of the company so I could get it women-owned certified. And he told me no. So I went and started my own company, and it's 100% owned by me, women-owned certified. Characteristics that I think, are good in business that make me a good state senator are, I like to collaborate a lot. I like to listen to people's different opinions. And then I like to make the best decision based off of those opinions and perceptions. I like to be a leader. I'm very alpha personality, kind of like to get things done, take the ball and run with it kind of person. In the job that I'm in, I've had the privilege of seeing a lot of different industries because we provide service to a lot of different industries. So we have been able to provide ancillary jobs because of the industries that I provide security to. So whether that be coal mining or gas wells or hospitals, government facilities, corporate real estate. I've had the privilege of seeing different operations and finding the right people to fit those roles that work best at those type of operations. And, we've provided thousands of jobs to people throughout the existence of these companies. And that's what I'm the most proud of, is that, I provide people jobs. And so while I might not have labor's endorsement right now, I'm actually doing the job of providing labor for people. And so I think I think it's special. And I think that it makes me a little bit different whenever it comes to sort of the, typical candidates that you get. But again, I'm not a politician, so maybe that's why I feel that way.
If you want something to get done, give it to a busy person, especially a mom. It'll get
I was
done.
going to say, yeah, give it to a mom and we'll get it done and everyone will still have dinner and, we'll be exhausted at the end of the night, but everyone will be asleep in their beds. The project will be done and we'll be up and ready to do it again the next day.
Jen Dintini, everyone, candidate for state senate in the 45th district. Jen, thank you for joining Sour Plums tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And please vote for me in November.
Jen,
Thanks,
I can't
Jen.
let you go without saying first hello. Glad to have you on the show.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, Jen.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks.
I wanted to say that you might not have labor's endorsement, but you have Big Cat's endorsement.
Thank you.
I've known you for a long time, and I just see in the community how nice, how kind, how mindful you are. And I'm so glad you're running for Senate. And I know you're going to win because you're just a hardworking, dedicated person. And I think you're going to put the best foot forward here.
Thank you so much. Yes, I've had, the opportunity to get to know most of you, and you're all great dads. First of all, let me say, because I get to see you in different capacities throughout the community. So, like with Mr. Newman, for example, his wife and I used to work out together at Burn Boot Camp whenever he was running for school board. And, this is just a great example. I know Justin and Shanna. They are amazing people. They are amazing parents. And Q and Kenyon are just the best boys. They are incredible kids. They're going to do amazing things in life. So, that had so much to do with why I voted for him, because I could see how he's raising his own kids. And I thought that was good for our kids. So that's just like an example. But prior to running, I've known you guys for a few years now, and, anything I can ever do to help in the community or whatever you need me for, just beyond this, just let me know. I'll always be there.
We appreciate you, Jen.
Follow up on that when I called Jen and said, "Hey, we have an opening on the PBSA board. We need a rep for 8U softball." She was like, "I don't know." She's like, "Can I think about it?" I was like, "All right, you can think about it." She said, "Give me like 2 or 3 days." I think it was later that day. She's like, "All right, I'm in. What do you need me to do?"
What do I have to do? Yeah. Well, but the thing is it was like the feedback, and now I'm in this position where I'm always getting feedback, positive and negative, and that's what I was like, well, what does this entail? Like, what do I have to do? And I'm always happy to help, but it's like, sometimes we can't make everybody happy. We try our best. PBSA for life.
It's funny that Mike brings up you being on the board. There was one time, I have 2 people here that I texted and called about a situation, and now we're all sitting together. There was a baseball game going on at the Plum softball field, and everyone's freaking out about the lights not coming on. And I know Justin Newman was close by, and they had called everyone. They called Mike. They called the athletic director, the superintendent. They were calling the mayor. They called everyone to get these lights on. And I called Newman. He didn't answer because he was playing softball. And I tried calling Jen on Facebook Messenger. She was probably like, "What is going on?" But I know she's on the board. I was like, "Hey, like, how do we get these lights on?" Basically is what I was trying to do. And they come on randomly. I think Justin had something to do with it. But I walked back to the crowd and I was like, "Hey, our next senator, Jen Dintini, got the lights on. Vote for Jen."
That's right. Yeah. There you go. You made the call and the lights came on.
Because I was walking back with my phone. Everyone's like, "Whoa, you did it." Yeah, I did it.
All right. Jen Dintini's going to stick on to the show tonight. And Justin, I know you have a new segment here that we introduced last episode. You gonna do it again tonight?
Oh, yeah. Let's get into the minority report there, boys and girls. All right. So I was inspired by our young guests last week for their, I guess it was blind rankings of the slang terminology that these kids are using today. So I did a little bit of research, and I have some of their lingo, millennial versus Gen Alpha, and then I even have some Gen X thrown in there as well. So we're going to start at the top. So if the Gen Alpha says you're selling, what does that mean? Millennials would say what?
Like it's giving, like
Yeah.
you're slaying.
Nope.
I would
if
almost
they
say like
if
you're
they say
flopping.
You're flopping. You're losing. You're.
As a millennial, we would say that was lame.
Oh, okay.
Lame would be the equivalent.
That's the translation.
Okay.
That is a
Okay.
translation.
Okay. I hear that all the time.
Right. So lame is what it would boil down to. So next one is Sigma. God, I hate this one
yeah,
so
I
much.
really don't.
That's good.
Sigma's like the alpha.
That's good. Yeah.
Sigma is cool. Correct.
Cool. Okay.
Sigma is cool.
Okay.
Next is Skibbity.
Oh no.
That's bad. That's like skibbity toilet.
There. Look at
What
that.
does that mean?
Look at that.
It's the
Skibbity
worst.
is bad.
It's the
Wow.
worst.
She is on it. Next one is Riz.
Oh yeah, that's
It's like you're hitting on somebody.
Is that like really? Isn't that like short for charisma?
Correct. So you're risen.
Look,
So you're
Rizzing 'em up.
you're laying down the Riz. Yep, risen them
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
I tell my kids I'm the Rizzler, and they
Oh,
they run away.
Do they
As they
as they
cringe?
should. As they should.
They don't like it. I do it in front of their friends.
That's why they don't like it. Let's get
Truly,
real.
you're totally selling.
Fire. That's an easy one.
That's good.
It's like
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That's awesome. Correct. Awesome is the correct answer for that one. Good job. Cap. Stop the cap.
That's bad.
Stop lying. Don't
Is it
lie.
Big cat. Correct.
Oh, really?
Lying. That is a lie.
Wow.
Yeah, Cap's getting old though. I feel like it's like
That's
On
been
the way
around
out.
for a while.
Yeah.
Mid. So mid.
Average.
Not good.
Basic.
Yeah.
Correct. Basic.
yeah, medium.
Yep. Ohio.
I still don't get this one. I don't know what this means.
Nothing good comes from Ohio. It can't be good.
This one is just crazy. I don't know why, but it's crazy.
Ohio means
You're
crazy.
Ohio is
Crazy
crazy.
to go to Ohio. That's why.
Ohio's crazy.
Sus.
Suspicious.
Suspicious.
Yep.
Why do we all wait to answer when we know it? We're all like,
Like,
I
maybe.
don't know.
For real? I don't know why this is a thing, but
For real?
Yeah.
I feel like we said that when we were kids. didn't we?
honestly, yeah,
Yeah.
like it's just
Oh,
honestly like
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
just it.
for real.
But
Mewing.
they say FR now though. They don't say for real. They say FR.
FR.
Yes, it's all abbreviated now.
Yeah.
Mewing.
Mewing is this.
Yeah, the jawline.
Yep, touching
Really?
your jawline. Yep, that's what mewing is. It's really stupid, but you know,
What
that's
is it? Does it have a purpose? Is there like a?
it's kind of along the lines of Riz. Like it's just you just look at someone and you just rub your jawline.
I'll start doing that. That'll be fun.
Your kids are gonna hate you. What's a snack?
Somebody who's
Me on a Friday
attractive?
night. I mean, that's not the best one I could have said, but I could have said I could have had a lot better one there.
A snack is someone that looks good. Like, ooh,
Yeah.
that's a whole snack.
Yeah.
Well, that's why Jess says that to me. I get it.
That's definitely not.
Yeah.
Not it.
She says, "Is that your third snack?"
Oh, that's
I'm
how
sorry.
it-
That sounds about right.
Sorry.
That's the context.
All right, so
Mike.
off of what the girl said last week, 8.
Hey,
Mike.
you did well.
Doing it well, correct.
Yeah. I
Bussin'.
ate that test up.
What's bussin'?
It's really good food. It's
Jen is
supposed to be
correct.
for food,
Bussin'.
but I think that's
It's
for
out
food.
now. Because I make dinner
Already?
and I
Yeah.
ask my teenage stepdaughter, like, is it bussin'? And she's like, nobody says that anymore.
Oh, I do. Right.
I say it's Delulu.
Like delusional.
Delusional.
Correct.
Okay.
On God.
Like I swear.
Facts. On God.
Bet.
Facts. Okay.
bet. So those are the Gen Alpha to Millennial. And then I had to pull up a list of like, I was thinking, what words did we say that kids would find absolutely ridiculous? Like what our parents drove our parents nutty.
Careful.
So the list I came up with was rad, gnarly, dissed, dope, fat, mint, buggin', twisted, baked, chillin', illin', Audi 5000, fly, tubular, da bomb, and grody.
The bomb.
I used to say to my grandma all the time, I used to be like, Grandma, chill. And every time she would be like, I will chill you right out the door. Every time I said it to her.
So that is our minority report for this week.
All right, Justin, thank you. I want to take another moment here to thank our sponsors. Thank you to Continental Comb, Tresco Concrete, the Jen Mascaro Real Estate Team, the Lulu's Pizzeria, and Salute Beer Distributor. Continental Comb Barbershop, a traditional barbershop servicing the area since 1973. Up to date on all the new styles and cuts. Call 412-795-7555 and mention Sour Plums for $5 off any service.
Tresco Concrete, the best concrete products on the market. Ready-mix concrete delivered to your door, guaranteed to get hard or your money back. And as always, their concrete is all natural, no supplements, and always 100% Viagra-free.
The Jen Mascaro team proudly supports the Sour Plums podcast. When it comes to selling your home promptly and at peak value, look no further than the expertise of the Jen Mascaro team. With over a decade of industry experience, we guarantee to guide you seamlessly through the process. For personalized assistance, contact us at 412-607-6318 or email jen.mascaro@cbrealty.com.
Lilulo's Pizzeria, serving up quality food, good grace, and burnt pizza since 2016. Local and woman-owned, located at 415 Unity Center Road in Plum. Call 412-795-1229 and mention Sour Plums for 10% off your order of $10 or more. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
At Salute Beer Distributor, we are bringing you a large selection of beers from local and national breweries. Our extensive inventory includes craft beers, seasonal specialties, your everyday favorites, adult slushies, and an impressive inventory of non-alcoholic beers. Salute's inventory has something special for every palate. Come browse the aisles at Salute Beer Distributor, located on Route 286 in Plum, next to Shop and Save. You'll be glad you did.
Drew, can we get a this or that this week?
We can, but it's after the Would You Rather segment.
No!
Yes, you did it again.
I don't
What?
want to get that order.
Again. This is now a segment.
I'm going to do it on purpose every week. Every week I'm going to do it now.
I say we just send Justin the wrong notes for the show.
I'm actually supposed to ask Mike. Mike, you got a Would You Rather this week? Or
No, let's do it the other
threw
way.
me off. He threw me off.
All right, I have a good Would You Rather this week. So, would you rather always be overdressed or always be underdressed?
Can I ask for clarification?
Sure.
Do you mean by overdressed multiple layers? Or do you mean like I'm dressed in a suit all the time versus I'm dressed in like sweats all the time?
Yeah, like dressed up or dressed down.
Oh, okay. That changes my answer a little bit. I'll let somebody else go first. Go
This
ahead.
is easy.
You thought it meant multiple layers?
I did. I did.
This is
Okay.
easy. Overdressed for me. I don't even know what it's like to be underdressed.
Same.
Overdressed for sure.
I want to be underdressed.
I'm with Big Cat. 100% underdressed.
Really?
If I show up somewhere and I have a tie on, I am like pissed if I didn't have to wear a tie. Like I would rather show up somewhere in shorts and sneakers and a t-shirt and be like, oh shit, look, you're dressed nice and I'm not, but I'm comfortable and you're not. Like if I hate wearing a tie and a suit. It's no.
I love wearing a suit. I don't do it often. But Mike, you know the night we had the Someone Special dance?
That we did not go to together, right?
We did not go to together. We did not
ran
plan
into each other, right?
We both wore blue Jordans, blue suits. We didn't plan that at all.
We did not.
Before the launch of this podcast, actually, it was like a week before the launch of the podcast. But that day, Xavier had a game at Hampton, junior high basketball, and I went there dressed in the suit, obviously overdressed for the occasion. And I was like normal. I sit at mid-court just so everybody knows I'm there. And there was an egregious call. And I lost my mind a little bit. I mean, not in a way that I would get kicked out, but like I stood up in the middle of the court, overdressed, and I kind of liked it. I knew everybody was looking at me anyway. And then the fact that they were looking at me, I was dressed well for the occasion. I think I liked it. I prefer to be overdressed.
So it's funny you say that because I have a very similar story. I was coaching Penny's basketball game on a Friday night in a tournament. And then immediately following, Jess and I had to go to a work function. So I am literally coaching on the sidelines in a suit, brown loafers, walking up and down the sideline. And I like went ballistic over a call. And I'm like, everybody's going to remember me this weekend. Like they're going to know exactly who I am.
everybody thinks you're like, why did that guy get dressed like that for the coach?
Exactly.
Like they think you're the worst, right?
Right.
I mean,
100%.
a lot of people do think we're the worst, but still,
They do.
I did that in 4th grade PBVO game. I wore a suit to a playoff game just to be a dickhead.
Oh, you did it on purpose.
I had no reason to do it. I just did it. It's like, I'm going to wear a suit today. And the other coach is like, does he do this all the time? Nope, he doesn't. He's just being an asshole.
Oh man.
I'm going to go on record here and say I don't know if I've ever been overdressed somewhere, honestly. I wore shorts to a wedding once because I heard the groomsmen were not going to be wearing shoes. Okay? So I thought it was a laid back outside barn wedding.
No shoes?
No shoes, but they were wearing pants. They were wearing overalls, nice white shirt. They were really dressed up. I was in shorts and a t-shirt, basically. I was like, oh, no shoes. It's going to be casual. I was underdressed, but I don't think I've ever been overdressed.
I mean, you were dressed in overalls.
Did you say dressed up in overalls?
I think he means suspenders. I think he means
Is that what you mean, Big Cat?
Yeah.
Overalls?
Thank you, Jen.
Like, we have overalls or suspenders?
Thank you, Jen, for just correcting me instead of belittling me and
I got you.
not listening to my whole story, waiting to correct me.
I stopped listening as soon as I heard overalls. I just stopped.
I know. Yeah, suspenders.
That's a little different.
I did not wear shoes to my wedding. Actually, Jess got into a fight with her dad right before he walked her down the aisle because he had his shoes on, and she's like, "Take your shoes off now."
Why do we do no shoes?
I got married on the beach.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, that makes sense. I'm wondering the same thing. Like, why are people not wearing shoes? The weddings.
This is that white people shit.
I wore pants, but we rolled them up to our knees.
White people.
Justin, have you ever not wore shoes to a wedding?
No. It's white
I
people
thought
shit.
you.
Justin, have you ever worn socks in a pool?
No.
Socks in a pool?
No.
Mhm.
Who would do that?
That's like, what are you doing?
I had friends that wore socks in a pool. I thought maybe Justin did too.
Were they black friends?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's why.
But I know it's a thing, right?
He is not wrong. It is a thing.
It's a thing.
Oh,
It's a thing. He's not wrong.
I'm a culture enough.
That sounds awful. Why would you do that?
So they don't like the feeling of having their feet out. Like their feet need to be covered at all times.
And wet socks is the answer? That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
You should try it, Mike.
Okay.
You have a pool.
Got to
Jump
do
in
what
with
you
your
got to
socks
do, I guess.
on.
I'm very cultured.
Oh, Drew. Can we get a this or that?
We can. I'm going to make this really easy. It's the political edition in honor of having Jen on tonight. I'll give you two things to choose from. You pick one. It's that simple. So I'll start here.
But this is with no explanation, right? You just pick.
I mean, it's two, so you can give a little explanation. I think it's worth it with the only two questions. Preferred method of voting, in person or by mail?
In person. I don't have anything against mailing in. I just prefer to go, and I like to circle little bubbles in, and I like to see people at the polling places.
Justin.
Stop the steal. Vote in person.
Jen.
I'm an in-person voter, but I appreciate the absentee ballot and people using them. I mean, you never know what could happen that day, so. But I'll be at every poll that day, so I'll be in person.
There you go. Big Cat.
I'm definitely going to be in person then also. But if I could vote from an app, I probably would. But I'm not going to do the mail-in since I'm right here in town.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Jen, if you need me to stand at a poll that day, let me know. I'll stand
Yeah,
up for a
everybody.
couple
If
hours.
anybody wants to volunteer, it's a long day, but it's a good day. I appreciate that. Yes, we need people to work polls, and we've been getting some volunteers. So thank you very much.
I do have a shirt and a sweatshirt, so I could go either way.
There you go.
I was gonna wear
this
your
question-
That's what I hear,
I have
Justin.
the pin still, Justin. I was gonna wear it tonight, but I didn't.
You should burn that pin.
I still have it.
Well, I do feel like Justin on this one. I'm in the minority. I'm the only one that prefers to vote by mail.
That's because you
I
hate
do.
people.
I don't hate people, Justin.
You
I
hate
wouldn't
being
have a
around people.
That's true also. But you never know when conflict is going to arise. You never know when you run into the keyboard warriors in person. It's like, what are they going to do to me? So I like to vote by mail. It's easier for me.
That's my favorite part.
Bring popcorn, right?
Absolutely.
Last one here. Best method for determining winner of a presidential election: electoral college or popular vote?
Oh,
Mike, that's a good one. I'm sorry, it's
this
good.
is a really good one.
So I have kind of a off. I can't pick one of those two. I think we need to rework the electoral college vote and still use it, but give the votes a popular divvy them up by popular vote, so you don't get all or none for a state.
I don't know that I follow that.
How would that work any differently than the popular vote?
I think what he's saying is like if there's 100 members in the electoral college, but the votes are split, like someone would get 70 of them, someone would get 30 of them. Is that what you're trying to say? Instead of the whole state.
Okay, I got what you're saying there. Okay. I would have some drink with you and discuss that. That's fun. What do you say, Jen?
I like Mike's answer.
I was a big proponent of not voting before. Like, I was like, voting is stupid for the presidential election because we don't pick the president. It's always the electoral college. So I was always a proponent of why should I even vote? And then I finally did some research and understood like the process. But I'm still, I think it should be the popular vote in my mind. I think it should be popular vote. But I understand why the electoral college is the thing, and I understand why the rules are what they are. But I still think it should be popular vote.
No.
I can't find anything funny about popular votes or electoral college, except for maybe the tuition being too high, but that's not even that great.
Oh,
it wasn't good.
No,
it took me a second even to
It
realize
certainly
what he was
wasn't too
talking
great.
it's not funny at all. Honestly, it's kind of ruined my vibe. Actually,
Since Big Cat opted for not giving an answer, I'm with Justin on this. I'm for the popular vote. I'd be intrigued by what Mike was talking about, how that could work.
I just think if you go popular vote, then you are going to have major cities determining every election, right? But if you let each state have the number of electoral votes that they have, but if you win, if candidate A has 60% of the vote, candidate B has 40%, then you divvy those electoral votes up by 60-40. You're still getting to the same number. It's just going to take you more states to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Jen, see what you can do when you get there.
I don't have anything to do with that. Oh, well, the funny thing is I did a sponsorship for soccer, and I was at the game the other night for girls soccer, and they were like, and Jen Dintini for U.S. Senate. I was like, that's not. So I emailed, state Senate, please. I know you can't correct the sign, but can you correct the announcement, please? Oh my goodness.
Mike, we got blind rankings, and just so everybody knows, I always introduce this segment for Mike. Blind rankings. Mike comes up with a category, and within that category, and this is for Jen, so just in case she wants to get caught up on how we do this, Mike gives 5 options. We have to rank them 1 through 5. We don't know what he's going to say next, so we rank them blindly, hence the title, Blind Rankings. So, Mike, take it away.
This week's blind rankings is movie trilogies. So it's trilogies or more, I should say. So it doesn't just stop at 3, but at least 3 movies in the series.
This is right up my alley.
All right. First one, Star Wars.
Question. Original trilogy?
It's the whole series.
Okay.
So if you're asking, is Star Wars going to be is there going to be 3 different Star Wars options on here? No, it's one Star Wars.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I'll get killed for this already. I'm not a Star Wars guy, but I'll put it at 3 just because this is how I play the game usually. It's a safe bet for me. Star Wars at 3.
I'm going to put Star Wars at 4. I mean, there's other good trilogies, Justin.
There are, but I'm going to do Star Wars at 2.
Oh, may the Force be with you.
And with you.
And also with you.
Right. I'll do
Jen.
it 4 as well.
All right, next one, Rocky.
Mike, I just know what Mike's coming up with. I got to put Rocky at 2. Again.
Also, which is your favorite Rocky movie?
I don't like Rocky.
You just put it at 2.
I know, but because I know you're going to come up with Lord of the Rings and some other weird stuff that I don't watch. I mean, I just know that's. I have to I would watch Rocky if you made me. I would never watch Lord of the Rings ever.
You're against Lord of the Rings and Rocky.
They're really good.
Both ends of the spectrum. They can both teach you a lot of integrity and
perseverance.
Other things. Perseverance.
Big Cat.
I heard Rocky 4 is good though.
Yeah, you heard correct.
You've never seen Rocky 4?
So let's just move on. I don't want to hear anything he has to say. It was good that Drew picked 2 because so did I for Rocky. Spoiler alert, I'm hoping for Lord of the Rings.
Hey,
What's
yo,
your favorite
Adrian, number
Rocky?
Rocky at number 3.
Yeah, what's your favorite Rocky?
4.
4. Justin.
Let's see.
Rocky. Original. OG.
What are you
That's
So
going
where
ranking?
do you put it?
3. I said 3.
Okay.
I'll do 2, and Rocky 4 is my favorite
Sounds like I was right.
against the rest.
We ranked it 2, and
Well, you-
number 4 was the best one.
Yeah.
So
You're
good.
awful.
So
You're
good.
awful.
Good job, Drew.
I like that part where he ran up the stairs. It was good.
That
That
wasn't
that
in
was
wasn't
the
in
first
4.
one.
That was
No,
in
he
1.
runs through the snow, and the chains are on the tires of the Mercedes. He's in
Oh.
Russia training.
The KGB
Oh,
is following him.
yeah.
Man.
I will
I forgot.
break
It's
you.
really good. Yeah, I will break you.
Mighty
Missed.
Ducks.
Oh.
Uno. 1 for me. We already had this conversation. I love Mighty Ducks. It was like growing up. That was. I know it's not considered a classic trilogy like the rest of these, but for my childhood, that was like that was must see movies. Adam Banks, by the way.
Cake eater.
Big cat.
I'm gonna go with 3 for Mighty Ducks, but I will have to say that Adam Banks was the superior hockey player.
Mhm.
Charlie
We're not doing this. again.
Conway, just a real
Justin.
crybaby.
The Ducks trilogy is going to unfortunately have to go at 4 for me, which is really low, but
You like it?
I do love the Ducks.
Going 5 for me.
Oh,
Wow.
Nice.
wow.
I support that. I just couldn't go there. Can I move there now? Since Jen, can
No.
I move to 5?
Leadership.
All right, I already know where this one's going for Big Cat, but Drew, Lord of the Rings. 5.
5 plus.
I'm so happy, Mike. I love you.
I know.
I'm gonna watch the extended version of Fellowship of the Ring tonight. I bet. Number 1, such a good movie, dude. When they go into Helm's Deep
The
and they're
extended
looking, what?
the extended version. I mean, the abbreviated version's still 4 hours
No,
long.
it's so good. It's so good. I know it's long. Sorry, it's a long watch, but you got to watch it one day. It's so good, dude.
Yeah.
When we talk about Lord of the Rings, can we mute Drew somehow?
I do. I kind of blank. I gotta get tunnel vision, and I'm like, dude, Frodo's in the forest.
Big Cat is so excited right now.
We got to get to Rivendell, guys. Let's go.
I unfortunately am putting Lord of the Rings at 5 because I have a feeling I know what number 1 is. I better be right.
Put
What's
it
your
at
feeling?
5.
I
Wait,
have 5 and
let
1
Jen
left.
answer.
I don't
Let Jen
care.
answer.
Sacrifice yourself.
Jen.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3.
That hurts a little, Jen.
Before I give this last one, Justin, what do you think's at 1?
It
Or what do you
better
think's the last
It
one?
better be Batman.
It's not going to
Damn
be
it.
Batman. It's not going to be Batman.
Godfather.
I know what it is.
That's the trilogy.
I did look at Godfather. It's not that one.
I know what it is.
What is it?
Back to the Future.
I looked at that one too, but it's not.
Dang it.
Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yes. Good.
God.
I'm fine
Hate
with that
that
being
movie.
4. I'm fine with
Ugh.
that being 4. That's
That's
fine.
number 1 on my list now.
See, this game sucks.
Yeah.
This game is terrible.
We're thinking about cutting it from the show permanently. Yeah. It went from our most popular to our least popular in like 3 weeks because he had a wrestling one that was really bad.
It was awesome.
he hasn't recovered from that
Was
one.
it professional wrestlers?
It was wrestlers of the 80s,
Yeah.
and I didn't put the popular ones on because I wanted to
Get-
see how they ranked everybody else.
Guess how many Mick Foley characters he did?
I did 2.
Damn near all of them.
How
2.
many are there?
2.
There's Mankind and
Yes.
Big Foley, Mankind,
Dude love.
Dude Love,
Cactus Jack.
Cactus
Cactus
Jack.
Jack.
We could have done a top 5 of Mick Foley.
We could have. We should have. We really should have. We should
It
have
would've
just
been much
leaned
better
into
than that
that.
one.
Yep.
But it's not blind. You know which ones they are.
Well, I guess so.
Wait, Justin, are you okay with Planet of the Apes at 1?
No, but I have no choice.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So here's my rankings, knowing what they are: Rocky, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Mighty Ducks, and I thought I was going to be the lone one here with Planet of the Apes. I can't stand that movie.
I hate those
I
movies.
don't like them
It's-
either.
Yeah, they're awful. I don't understand how people can watch them.
So disappointing. Boo these blind rankings. Boo.
All right. Mike, is it time for voicemails? Do we have any voicemails? I don't know if Jen, before I do, Jen, are you the games are over if you want to cut off. If you can stick around, we have a couple
Past
small
our
segments
bedtime.
left.
Let the woman go to bed.
I want to.
Well, then I will go to bed. Because
Okay.
guess what? I have to get up and campaign again tomorrow.
Imagine that.
Yeah, I gotta do all the things tomorrow and get the kids up for school. So thank you again for having me. Everybody vote for me in November. And yeah, if you want to volunteer, we will be happy to have you. Thanks again, guys. This was a lot of fun. I'll come back anytime.
We'll bring you
Thanks,
back after
Jen.
you win.
All right. Thanks, Jen.
All right, Mike, do we have any voicemails this week?
We have a couple of voicemails this week. All right, here's the first one.
Hello, Sour Plums. This is Mario Francesco. Yes, the Mario Francesco. Just a question for the one host, Mike. What is it like? How's your life been living in Mario Francesco's shadow? Just curious, you know. It could be a short answer, a long answer, whatever you prefer. Just want to know how life is. Thanks, guys.
All right, the fact that he is delusional enough to think that I live in his shadow. First of all, you walk around Plum, and I'm not Mario's brother. He's Mike's brother. That's how he's known. So let's not talk about living in shadows. But he is my mom's favorite.
I mean, I see him on the pages all the time. He's performing a lot of services for people in the community. What are you doing for the community, Mike? A podcast?
I mean, nothing now. I lost the last election.
It's a fantastic voicemail, actually.
I didn't think so. All right. Somehow both of my brothers never call in, and Mark called in. So here's this one.
Hello, Mark Devine here. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I can actually say that and it be true, Jimmy. So a few things I want to mention. We all know that Mario is my mom's favorite son. I am my mom's second favorite son. But you may not know this, and that is that I am Papa Devine's favorite son. So just something to think about. Next thing I want to say is big shout out to Big Cat. I'm his biggest kitten. Love you, man. Okay, now on to this. I have to say, I love how you all make fun of Mike all the time. This asshole gave me shit my whole life. It's about time someone gives it back to him. So thank you all for doing that. And lastly, from the last episode, no way Mike is better than me in fantasy football. Dude hasn't made top 6 in any of our leagues in the past year and probably the last few years for some of them. He has like 7 apps open during the drafts too, and he thinks that they actually help him. I'll agree that Mario is probably the best divine at fantasy football, but Mike is not better than me. And I'll prove it this year in our Sour Plums League. And Mike, if you want to have any side wagers for our matchups, let's discuss it. Bring it, bitch. Love you all, except Mike. Bye.
Oh, shots fired.
Wow. That might have been my favorite voicemail of all time. No disrespect to anybody else. That was like, how are we going to top Mario? Boom. Mark just did it.
The benefit to screening the voicemails before we air them is I know it's coming. Mark wants to say, I haven't won any leagues.
What?
Make sure we get a picture of this up because Mark's in this league, and I don't think he's ever won this league. And here's the championship belt from last year. All right, 4 championships in 5 years. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. So let's make sure we get a nice screenshot of this with the championship belt. And no, Mark's wrong.
Oh man,
We're gonna get a side wager this year in the Sour Plums League.
Yeah, can't wait to hear about it. Mark, we need more voicemails from Mark and Mario for sure.
No, we don't. But Mark and I, we don't generally wager money. We wager slaps.
Are we talking face slaps?
Oh, absolutely face slaps.
Oh man,
what's up, Mark?
All right, moving on.
People of Plum, it's me, Jim McBride. First time caller, long time listener. Welcome back to Jimmy's Inside Scoop. I'm just curious, what is going in Wendy's? I keep hearing 400 things. Is it going to be the new Cracker Barrel from Jen Mascaro?
He just kind of cut off there. I'm not really sure why. So being serious for 1 second, I have heard it's going to be a Charlie's.
That's what I've heard.
It is Charlie's.
Is it?
It is Charlie's. You can see it. You can see it by the decor on the outside. It's a Charlie's.
Okay.
I didn't really think of this when I first heard Charlie's. I was like, oh, they're pretty decent. Whatever, it's good. But then somebody mentioned that they're not going to stop going to Rudy's, which is right down the street, and I think I'm on that train. I can't. If Rudy's is that close, I'm going there.
Yeah, but Charlie's is closer to like where Drew is.
Yeah, it's right there. Like
Charlie's is right down the hill.
I can see my kid walking to it, right, for lunch. I mean, he doesn't really want to walk to too many things, but maybe for a sub. He likes subs.
Everybody doesn't live at Drew's house.
Holly Park is down there, so that's closer to Holly Park than it is to Rudy's.
They do have the benefit of the parking lot, sharing a parking lot with Shopping Save too, right? You have
It's right there.
Yeah.
Uncle Sam's subs, I think, is in Waterworks. They're really good. And then Carly and I love Pirello's Deli in Penn Hills.
I'm not familiar with that.
Where's that at?
On
Penn Hills,
Penn Hills.
He just said
Holton Road, like
Penn Hills
307
pretty
Holton.
big.
It's by the gas station, by the old German cemetery. To narrow it down,
I'm gonna go there for lunch tomorrow.
Up Shannon Road, like from Verona.
We reached the stage where Mike's taking no bullshit.
He's so annoyed with us right now.
What happened? I was off the screen.
He just bit our heads off.
Why? What I missed?
He snapped at us. Penn Hills is really big.
What'd he say?
Penn Hills is really big.
Did my narrowing it down help anyone?
It was very helpful, but Mike was still very pissed off at us. So
I'm
it
bad
didn't
with
really
directions,
matter.
so
All right, let's get to our last voicemail.
You want to go out? You want to go out center New Texas?
Dude, this episode can't be an hour and a half long because we talked about subs for 5 minutes.
Well, if you go down New Texas Road, on to Salzburg, Old Leechburg, crossover under.
I just want random placements in the episode where Mike says Hills is pretty big.
Can we call this episode Penn Hills is really big?
Yes. All right, we have one more voicemail.
Hi, Sour Plums. It's me, Jamie Caligiuri, executive producer of the Plum Inside Scoop. I was just calling today because I'm a little confused. Most of our followers have said that Dave Biondo is the funniest of the Inside Scoop news reporters, and yet I've noticed that he hasn't been a guest on your show yet. I was just wondering why. Thank you so much for taking my call and answering my question. I look forward to hearing the answer.
All right, when your competition is Jimmy, being the funniest is like being the skinniest kid at fat camp, right? Am I right?
Shots fired.
Wow.
Dave's on the list, I think, but he's on the second list. It's the reserve list. It's if somebody calls us an hour before they're supposed to show and they can't make the show, Dave's on that list somewhere.
There's a time and a place.
Dave will be on. He will be on the show.
He will be. He absolutely will be.
Right now we have some guests lined up with some things that are relevant. Like we have assistant principal coming up here in a few weeks to talk about the beginning of school and things like that. So Dave's on the list. He's coming.
It's got to fall into the calendar. It's got to make sense.
Actually, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. You know what might be a good time to bring Dave on is right before the Halloween Inside Scoop contest.
That's a fantastic idea, Michael.
That's what I'm here for. That's why I get the big bucks.
I think Dave gave me the wrong address to his Halloween costume party last year.
Did you get there?
Yeah, just because the people in the car knew like it wasn't the right one.
Oh, we're gonna have to bring that up when he's on the show.
Definitely getting brought up.
Yes. All right, and that's all we have for voicemails this week.
All right, guys. Anybody have any shout outs tonight?
Shout out the Plum Raptors winning the Plum Kickoff Classic again.
Same, Chaos and Strikers. Let's go, girls. Get it this year.
Yeah, congrats to all the soccer teams.
Shout out to our longest show ever.
Yeah. Shout out to Penn Hills. It's really big. Thank you for listening to Sour Plums. Like this episode and subscribe to our channel on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Share if you care. We're out.